For decades, Susanna Reid has been a familiar and trusted face on British morning television, renowned for her sharp intellect, compassionate interviewing style, and unwavering professionalism. From her early days reporting on breaking news to her current role as a lead anchor, Susanna has navigated countless challenging interviews, always maintaining a poised and articulate demeanor. We've seen her question politicians, comfort victims, and guide discussions with a blend of journalistic rigor and genuine empathy. But beneath that polished, TV-ready exterior, there's a human being, just like you and me, susceptible to life's most brutal emotional currents. And it was one such current that would, for a time, threaten to overwhelm even her seasoned composure, live for all the world to see. Picture this. A seemingly ordinary weekday morning. The controlled chaos of a live television studio, the gentle hum of cameras, the scent of fresh coffee in the green room. For Susanna, this was her second home, a place where she effortlessly commanded the airwaves. The day's schedule was set, the guests prepared, the usual blend of hard news, human interest, and light-hearted segments awaiting their turn. There was no outward premonition, no chilling whisper of impending emotional upheaval. Just the comfortable rhythm of a broadcast routine, a job she performed with exceptional skill. She was vibrant, she was prepared, she was professional, or so everyone thought. The specific interview slot was for a guest who had suffered an unimaginable loss, a story of profound grief that was expected to be difficult, but manageable. Susanna, as always, had meticulously researched, prepared her questions, and mentally braced herself for the emotional weight of the conversation. She had conducted countless such interviews over her career, mastering the delicate balance between compassionate inquiry and journalistic integrity. But what she didn't know, what no one could have possibly predicted, was that this particular story, this particular individual, would tap into a wellspring of emotions so deep, so universal, that would shatter the professional facade she so skillfully maintained. The interview began, as expected, with Susanna leading gently, creating a safe space for her guests to share their harrowing experience. The guest, a picture of quiet dignity, despite their profound pain, began to recount the devastating details of their loss. Each word, each pause, each tremor in their voice carried an unbearable weight. Susanna, listening intently, maintained her focused gaze, nodding empathetically, guiding the conversation with her usual grace. But within her, something was shifting, a barrier slowly eroding as the raw, unfiltered human suffering of her guest began to penetrate her professional shield. And then a particular detail. A small, poignant memory shared by the guest, a seemingly insignificant moment that suddenly unlocked a floodgate of emotion, not just for the person speaking, but for Susanna herself. It wasn't just the facts, it was the raw, unadulterated pain, the universal nature of loss, that struck her with chilling clarity. The professionalism, the years of training, the mental preparedness, it all began to crack under the immense pressure of shared human suffering. The studio lights, the cameras, the millions of viewers, all faded into an incomprehensible blur as Susanna felt herself slipping from her role as interviewer to fellow human being, overwhelmed by the sheer agony recounted before her. She tried to continue. She tried to maintain her composure, to push through, to offer the comforting words she was so skilled at providing. But the words caught in her throat. Her eyes, usually clear and focused, began to well up, blurring the studio lights. The tears, unbidden and unstoppable, began to stream down her face, a raw, undeniable testament to the profound empathy she felt. For Susanna Reid, in that precise moment, the emotional dam broke, and she wept live on national television. She describes it as an uncontrollable surge, a moment where the lines between professional and personal utterly dissolved. The studio became a stage for raw human vulnerability, as one of Britain's most composed journalists found herself utterly overwhelmed by the suffering of another. The sheer weight of the guest's story, the universal pain of loss, became too much to bear. She couldn't speak. She couldn't continue. And in a moment of profound honesty and vulnerability, she was forced to pause the interview, a decision driven not by journalistic protocol, but by the undeniable force of her own breaking heart. For anyone who has witnessed or experienced such a public display of raw emotion, that moment of shared vulnerability